Well, before we wrap up and get out of here, wanted to do a little fun, little draft. All right. We've done this a couple times this year. We used to do it a lot back in the day, but we've got the Super Bowl next week. We're obviously going to talk about the Super Bowl next week. But for now, we figured we'd have a draft of the best Super Bowls. All right. So we'll have 4 Super Bowls each. Okay. We will put this out. This will be voted on. I know our fans love to vote on our stories, so it'll be on there. We've got to figure out who goes first. I think it should be Caleb because he came in last in the Player of the Week, and then me, and then
Ooh,
Jake.
low blow.
But then, do I guess we have to do Snake?
Yeah, Snake for sure. Gotta do Snake.
I feel like we have to. I do feel like we have to. So, Caleb, you will start us off. What is the
Well,
best Super Bowl of all
I
time?
wonder what Caleb's number
I
one.
mean, single tee. You guys just put the ball, the Titleist Pro V1X, on the tee. It's at the perfect height, and you just handed me the M2 driver. It's Super Bowl 51, boys. 28-3. The comeback, the epic comeback. Devontae Freeman couldn't block. Hightower makes a strip sack.
51. It's 51.
Is that what it said? Yeah, I
Deep
think so.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm so man. I mean, my heart's pumping right now, boys. I'm fired up. You got me thinking about this game here. I remember a few nights in my life, okay, where I think like I can go from minute by minute, or at least, about every 15 minutes or so, I can tell you what happened. This is one of them nights. I remember the phone calls I got at halftime. I remember the phone calls I tried to make at the end of the game. Nobody would answer. All the texting going back and forth, the stuff I was getting before the game, the week leading up to it, the lunch conversations leading up to this game, buddy. My goodness. My goodness. You should have seen those days I had to deal with at the lunch table. So just the game itself, though, largest comeback in Super Bowl history. Brady, not just another loop in the belt. And Jake has reasons to plug his ears. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but I had no other choice but to pick that one for it to be the best Super Bowl ever. And here's the thing, and this is honest truth. I feel like the average person will probably say it's the best Super Bowl they ever seen if they're not a Falcons fan. Just saying.
Okay. Jake left the room.
Sorry, buddy.
All right. Well, that's a good one. It's a good one. I guess that's fair. Wouldn't be at the top of my list, but
Shocker.
all right. My first pick is going to be Super Bowl 42. New York Giants 17, New England Patriots 14. Look, this is the first Super Bowl I can remember. I think actually the first Super Bowl I ever watched was the Saints Colt one. Not Saints Colts, Bears Colts the year before, which I believe was 41. That was probably the first one I watched. This is the second one I watched back when Fox had that old gray scoreboard across the top. Look, all you got to say is, how can you not remember the catch, the helmet catch, the David Tyree helmet catch? How can you not remember the drive that the Giants went on to make it 17-14? How can you not remember the 18-0 New England Patriots falling to the wild card Giants? Just an absolute awesome game. It's hard. It's hard to pick anything other than that for me. There's some good ones. There's a lot of really good Super Bowls that the Patriots involved in that are losses, but this might be the best one. It takes the cake for me. So I'm gonna go Super Bowl 42.
So people forget in Super Bowl 42. Also, Caleb, I guess I'm gonna listen to your rant tomorrow. Maybe I just didn't have it in me tonight to actually listen to it, so I had to.
I actually ended up talking about like lunch and stuff. I wasn't duck on the Falcons, but
Oh, really?
yeah. I mean, listen, you just got to show up. You got to show up to the party sometimes, dog. You'll be surprised.
But people forget in Super Bowl, what was that, 37?
42.
42? Yeah. Super Bowl 42, the play before the helmet catch, a dropped interception. Don't know who it was, but a dropped interception. So to get into mine, I'm kind of shocked this one took it.
Say Samuel, I'm pretty sure, by the way.
Was it Asante?
I'm going to go double check. I'm pretty sure it was Samuel.
Pretty sure it was too. Nice.
Well, all right. Well, the Super Bowl that I'm not good with Roman numerals. XLIX. Is that Super Bowl?
Hey, the Seahawks Pats?
Seahawks Patriots. That's going to be the one I'm going to go with.
Is that 49? 49?
Yeah, that's 49.
Something 9. 49. Okay. One of the best games at just football in general. I think in my opinion, I think this is the best Super Bowl. I mean, you get down to the goal line and then get that Malcolm Butler interception. It was an awesome game, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Patriots lead a late game-winning touchdown drive that seems like it was going to be the icer. And then the Seahawks come right back there, 1 yard away from going back to back. And then the Malcolm Butler play. you'll never forget. And then for my second pick, I'm going to get another one that I'm kind of, I don't know. I feel like it fits good in at 4, but I'm going to go with Super Bowl 52 when the Eagles with Big Nick Foles went and threw for like 450 yards and
Really
beat the
special.
Patriots. I'll say this. This is probably the most entertaining Super Bowl of all time because this thing was a slugfest from start to absolute finish. Like you said, the Philly special, Nick Foles, all that happened. Tom Brady threw for 505 yards in this game and lost.
That's crazy.
That
Those
one
are my
hurts,
two.
man.
That's a good one.
But everybody talks about 42 and the undefeated season. The one that disappoints me the most, like Super Bowl 42, we got terrorized up front that night by Michael Strahan, who set their sack record that year, by the way. That game there with the Philadelphia Eagles and then Philly, I mean, that changed football that night. And Brady went off that game, man,
Mhm.
and came up just short at the end.
That's a good one. So the first 4 picks all involved the Patriots. How about that? That's
Love
fun.
it.
Probably going to be some more.
Yeah. Okay. All right. My next one, and this is another one that I just would feel wrong if I didn't have it on my list because this is the one that it's super awesome. Hold on, let me check the numerals. Okay. This is Super Bowl 43. The Pittsburgh Steelers 27, the Arizona Cardinals 23.
Mm.
I remember this game because my dad had just started working in Byron before we moved to Macon, and he had a bunch of friends that were Steelers fans. They all came over to our house. There was a big Steelers party, and the James Harrison pick six, which is obviously huge, but the Santonio Holmes catch in the end zone, Kurt Warner. I remember the Falcons played the Cardinals that year. That was, I think, Matt Ryan's rookie year. This is kind of going off a tangent, but that was the year they went to Arizona his rookie year, and that was his Arizona team that went and got to the Super Bowl. But this game was awesome. Just crazy plays left and right. Plays like Larry Fitzgerald was making. I mean, just the names in this: Big Ben, Kurt Warner. It was awesome.
James Harrison, pick six.
Yeah, James Harrison pick six was awesome as well. So I love that game, and the catch is iconic at the end of it. So I'm going to be going with Super Bowl 43 as my second.
Insane throw, too. People talk about the catch, the throw, son. Like, he had a shoebox to put that thing in the end zone, and it was there. And Santonio Holmes made a hell of a catch. That was the game, like, you go back, and Garrison was talking about which ones you remember. I think that's like the third Super Bowl I remember, and I was pulling hard for the Cardinals. I love Kurt Warner, man. Him coming out there, he was the first quarterback I remember seeing have like the really, really baggy and long sleeves, dude. And he wore a glove. Your boy tried to go out there in a glove and like an armband at recess because this guy was pulling hard for him. My next pick, I really wanted to keep the Pats train rolling. We broke that already, but I just want to say thank you guys for allowing me to relive 4 of those right there, regardless win or loss. I'm going with a game that has the most memorable moment to me. Super Bowl 47, Ravens 49ers, lights go out. 35-minute break in the game.
I remember that.
If you remember before the lights, it was 28-6, and the Ravens were up. And then the final score ended up being 34-31. Here came the 49ers back, but the Ravens scored late, took the lead, and won the game. This is also a brother versus brother matchup. John and Jim coached against each other in the Super Bowl, which I don't think you'll ever see again. So Super Bowl 47 had a lot of cool things about it.
Dude, I remember that one, and I remember that was Ray Lewis's last season. And I remember he announced it was his last season. I think maybe like going into the playoffs, he announced that this was his last run, and for them to do that magic thing and go on the
Deer antler spray. Well, remember when he was on the deer antler spray?
What was that? I missed that.
It was like he was hurt and he was doing this like animal like shot that like was getting him like good to go. And it was like I don't
Taking
know if that was
ketamine.
technically illegal or not. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, did they have wasn't that like the Jacoby Jones kick return game too, or something
Yeah.
crazy?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, you got another one, Snake.
All right. My next one is gonna be it's me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. Sorry, I just
Okay, my next game's gonna be the only, I believe, overtime game in Super Bowl history. Chiefs Niners, Super Bowl 50.
Second, Falcons
It was-
Patriots was the first.
Oh yeah.
It was the
Okay.
first one with the rules that both
With the new
teams got the
rule.
ball no matter what. Yeah,
Mhm.
because
Okay.
we all know that the Falcons got the ball back Super Bowl 51. We would have gone down, scored, gone for 2-1.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And also, let me say one thing while we're talking about this. I've always thought it's such BS that the Falcons losing Super Bowl on that rule, but they don't change the rule. It's only when poor Josh Allen goes to Kansas City and loses in a divisional round game. We're like, okay, now we'll change the rule. That's just never made sense to me.
Well, you were up 23. You didn't have an excuse.
Whatever.
Anywho, this game was Super Bowl 58. It was in 2023, or really, the game was in 2024. Chiefs, Niners. Chiefs win another one somehow, some way. I was very disappointed by the outcome of this game. That's what I remember. But it was crazy.
That was the one in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good place to have a Super Bowl. It's where National Championship is next year, if you guys didn't know.
Ooh.
Okay, so this one I was not alive for, but I mean, it's a great moment. I believe this is Super Bowl 34, if I'm reading the Roman numerals.
I really thought I was getting this one.
Super Bowl 34, St. Louis Rams 23, Tennessee Titans 16. We all know it was the greatest show on turf with Kurt Warner, Eric Dickerson, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt.
The greatest show on turf.
Greatest show on turf. And it came down to a one-score game, and Titans get all the way down to it's pretty much as close as you can get without scoring a touchdown. Kevin Dyson, the receiver, just couldn't get the ball underneath the goal line. Just looking at the field, I don't know what – I think this was played in Atlanta.
It was played in Georgia.
I think this was played in the Georgia Dome. You can tell because the field looks nothing like grass at all. But what a moment. What a game for those two teams. The Titans, I think that was their quarterback was Steve McNair and the Titans. That team, I think that was the same team that had the ladder on the kickoff. If it's not that same,
really,
I think
the
what do they call that? The Miracle at
Music City Miracle.
Yes,
I had that one written down here. I feel like I just gave that to you on a platter, but
yeah. But Super Bowl 34, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Either way,
it was. Kurt Warner threw for 414 yards that day and scored. What was it, 17 points? 23 points. Jake?
I'm going to go for my next one. This is one that's special to me. I'm going to go with Super Bowl 36 XLVI. I believe that's 36. Now, everyone always remembers the first time that's
46.
Whatever, one of those things. Everyone always remembers the first time that Eli Manning beat Tom Brady, but the second time was just as good. Everyone always remembers the David Tyree catch. Manning to Manningham might be the most impressive pitch and catch in NFL history. Taking down Tom Brady again. Eli Manning did it again. I mean, this is a special one. This is a special one. If it wasn't for Eli Manning, Tom Brady would have like 15 rings at this point. So shout out to Eli. And then, man, I really thought I was going to be able to get the Rams and the Titans. I really thought that was going to come to me. So this one was a little tougher, but I'm going to go with, I think this was the second Super Bowl I remember. I feel like when the Bears won it, that was like the first one that I vividly remember watching. Colts.
The Colts won't beat the Bears.
That's right. I just remember the memory I have
with the Bears,
Devin Hester.
But it was I think it was in Chicago too.
It was in Miami.
It was in okay, got that totally wrong. But anyway, it was outside.
But I'm gonna go with Super Bowl.
Purple Rain game, right?
Yes.
I'm not. Again, I just say I'm not good with Roman numerals. XLIV is that? What is that?
44.
Super Bowl 44. Saints Colts. It makes me sick inside to pick a Saints Super Bowl to be on my top 4. But I'm going to have to do it. This is one of the first ones I remember. Sean Payton getting his first, Drew Brees getting his first. And this was a really tight game, and Peyton Manning throws a pick 6 late in this game that makes the scoreboard look a lot worse than it was. This was a game until late in the fourth quarter. And then Peyton Manning throwing another pick at the very end to seal it for the Saints. All-time great game.
Dude, that was the year that the Colts and the Saints were undefeated. And then they both rested their players for like the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season. I think the Colts were 13-0, and then they rested everybody and went 13-3, lost their last 3 games. Saints did the same thing, like 13-0 or 14-0. I remember that vividly, that they both just had all the 1 seeds locked up and didn't care about an undefeated season and rested like everyone, or at least like barely played them. I remember that. Okay, my last one is going to be Super Bowl 57. Kansas City Chiefs 38, Philadelphia Eagles. This was an awesome game back and forth. It's, the Eagles and Chiefs last time. Obviously, last year was a lot different, but this game, just the fact, the offensive show put that the Eagles and Chiefs put on this day was awesome. I remember guys like Kadarius Toney being in this game making big plays. I remember A.J. Brown making big plays. I just love, and obviously they had the questionable flag at the end. for I think it was James Bradbury was the culprit of it. The best part about this was just seeing those videos of these pissed off Eagles fans after this game. The video of that one guy just absolutely going ham on the TV, standing around, and he just starts going ham on the television because he probably lost thousands of dollars. That's the best part about this for me. But this was Taylor Swift's first, I believe. So this was a big one for her. Or maybe this wasn't her. Maybe she wasn't a part of this one. Either way, great Super Bowl. Super Bowl 57. Chiefs' second one.
Did not pick that Super Bowl because when I was going through just trying to do some research for this, I was reminded that the James Bradbury PI call at the end of the game. I was like, yeah, that ruined that whole game for me. I remember exactly how I felt when it happened. Like, okay, all right, see, bro, keep the flag up, pal.
All right, you got the last one.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with a game that I thought was honestly a little bit better than some of the ones that I think it was Jake was talking about. The Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl, XLV. I thought that was a really cool game.
45?
Yeah, 45, Super Bowl 45. This is a year after the one Jake was just talking about with the Saints and Colts. Aaron Rodgers gets his chip. Mike Tomlin and Ben Roethlisberger run it back again, try and do it again for the second time in 3 years. And they're almost trying to start their dynasty. It would be the third one in 5 years too, I think, by the way. So Aaron Rodgers gets the one and only chip. If you would asked me in 2011, would this be his only Super Bowl, I would have called you insane.
Yeah.
And to his unfortunate demise, Tom Brady was in the league with him. And when he came to the NFC, he took out his best chance. And when he was in the AFC, he never got there.
Yeah. Well, it's also that was the only Super Bowl he ever went to. Like, not even one. It was the only
Crazy.
like he lost like 4 NFC championships after that. One to the Falcons. One time the Falcons put BTA on them 1 year. Yeah. I like that one too. I remember watching that because I believe the Packers went up. They were up like 21-7 or 21. They were up a lot. And then the Steelers came back and the Packers were able to close it. And it's Greg Jennings and Jordy Nelson years, I believe. Talk about a legend, Jordy Nelson. They don't give that guy
What a guy. Him and Randall Cobb both, man.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There were 2 Pats Super Bowls that I did not give any shouts to, but there were 2 before we all started like really watching football. And they were both 3-point games, last second field goals. Adam Vinatieri should be in the Hall of Fame because of these games, bud.
Adam Vinatieri, is he not in the Hall of Fame?
I heard somebody discussing the Bill Belichick situation today and saying that Robert Kraft himself is not even in the Hall of Fame.
Interesting. They do not like New England in the Hall of Fame. Interesting. All right. Well, we'll see who's got the best list based on what the fans think. Do we think this upcoming Super Bowl is going to be one of the best we've ever seen?
A blowout though. This one's gonna be like the Broncos Seahawks. So I don't think so.
I don't think we're gonna snap it over to center's head on the first play. And you're talking about betting on the coin toss, buddy. You're part of the problem. You are part of the problem. Here's a stat for you. Since 2004, underdogs are 15-7 against the spread in the Super Bowl, and they've covered the spread in 5 straight. The 5-game win streak for dogs is the longest in history. And when the spread is +3 in the Super Bowl, the dog is 13-4 against the spread. And they've won more outright games than they've covered just with a loss.
Wow. How about that? Caleb came with the stats.
Ready for it.
All right. Well,
I got to defend my team, man. Everybody's been dunking on this and that, talking about blowout, this and that. Every Super Bowl that you guys have, think about it. Go back to them. The ones we talked about are going to be blowouts. They end up being some of the best Super Bowls we have talked about or seen. Man.
Well, we'll find out. We will find out in 10 days, 11 days. I don't know. Can't do the math right now. But thank you for listening to another episode of the Deep Shot Podcast. Again, the next time we show up, it'll be episode 50 of the season. It'll be the Deep Shot Award Show, first ever. So make sure you're locked and loaded. Get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a great show. Until then, make sure you follow Instagram and TikTok. Make sure you subscribe on the YouTube. Stay tuned. Big things coming for Caleb, for Jake. This is Gary. Deep Shot out.